So in that folder, the one that's most important is going to be this SAT focus area strategies for literacy. So I will be referencing the PowerPoint and this Word doc kind of side by side throughout. Don't forget with the Twitter feed, so we have that on and we're trying to keep track of that and get in conversations to answer your questions and other things there as well. So let's go ahead and get started here with our ELA section. Everybody able to get to the resources okay? And if not, we can come around and support you during discussion times. Just kind of making sure we're staying consistent in our highlight. Now we're jumping into this ELA session. And session 1, session 2, really we're just going to kind of flex. Basically the rest of this time is going to be working through those 4 strategies. We're going to start off actually with getting you into the assessment itself and having you do the practice items around the redesign. So that'll kind of set the context for you. And then we're going to dive into specifically some of the different passages and analyze some of the strategies you might be able to use with students or encourage staff to use, whatever your role is here today, because we know we have folks in different roles. We, at this point, I believe, are potentially looking at 11:15 as lunch. We're going to kind of play it by ear with where math is. We'll check in with them, but it might be that it'll start around 11:15. So if we let you out early, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And we will still come back at 12:30. So something might change a little in the schedule, so you're aware. Again, we have the Twitter feed, and then there's the Bitly, which we should be pretty grounded with that. And understand a lot of this, me repeating a lot of this is, I'm understanding some of you are here charged to take the work back, right? And so I'm just reiterating how it was designed so that you can take the work back. That's typically how we design the things here, so that you can take it and run with it, because we know you have other staff, whether they're up for it or not, know that they kind of need to be in the know about it. So our outcomes for today. I'll let you read through these outcomes for a second. These are the things we're going to be really focused on, and most of the activities we're going to do in this section are going to always resonate back to one of these 3 outcomes. So go ahead and turn to an elbow partner and just for 1 minute talk about, is there something in this you really expect to get out of this that's really in line, or is there something that you were like, oh, this will be good because I didn't expect this, or other thoughts? Just kind of talk through these outcomes and what one most resonates with you. And then just a quick minute with your elbow partner to a close. Thank you. So again, this is we'll be reconnecting to these outcomes when we go through these different pieces. So the first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to actually have you dive into the actual assessment. So the redesigned sample items. We're going to spend about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll kind of see how it works as far as how people are getting into the items. But we're going to have you actually navigate to where those items are online and give you that 15 to 20 minutes to explore for yourself. And then we're going to move into partners or a table and talk about what was it that you saw, what resonated, and just kind of give you a chance to build a context around it. So first, let me navigate you to how to most simply get to the assessment at this point. And then I'll give you a couple of more detailed directions before I set you off into diving into it. So the first thing you want to do, I mentioned that we have the PowerPoint in that folder, and we also have inside the ELA folder then this Focus Area Strategies Google Doc. If you go to that, I have put the link right at the top of that. So you can quickly come to this and click here. So if you're, again, wondering, you put in the bit.ly, which was bit.ly/KISDSAT. If you put that in, it will pull up this folder. And then you go into the ELA folder, so another layer of the folder, and that will bring up this Focus Area Strategies for Literacy, which you click on, and then you can click on the link at the top. This will get you into the sample items. I will come back to this, but if you click on the right spot, it'll look like this. This is where we want you to be. Okay? So while we're navigating to that, and if you're not there yet, I can help you get there. But while you're navigating to that, once you get to the sample items, you're going to then select any one of the 3 that's of interest to you. And once you do that, what happens is it creates this drop-down option. So you now are going to be able to drop it down. You move to reading or writing or essay, and then you make sure you're on the right topic or section, and then you slide over and you can pick your question number, all right? So if you want to build a little bit of understanding around the actual texts that we're going to analyze today, in the reading section, you're specifically going to want to look at question 15 and the passage that goes with that, which the passage is a speech delivered by Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We're going to analyze that text a little bit deeper. So in the reading section, question 15. We also, in the reading section, I probably could have done these in order. Sorry, I'm doing it in the order I'm going to present them. Also in the reading section, you want to look at question 9 and the text that goes with that. And that is, turtles use the Earth's magnetic field as a global GPS text. So it's a science text. So we've got a social studies text and a science text. Under the writing portion, you're going to want to look at any of the questions 1 through 11. The first passage, which is called A Life in Traffic. And then example 1 of the essay. So when you go to the essay, I believe there's 2 prompts. You want prompt 1 for the essay. Those are specifically what we're going to dive into deeper, but you can go to any of the questions you want, go through it. I'm going to give you 20 minutes to play, and we'll come back together at the end of that. And I'll try to put a timer up so you know kind of when it's coming to an end. But just dive through those questions. What questions might you have about that outside of navigation? So for the writing, it's going to be the first section, questions 1 through 11. The title is A Life in Traffic. Okay. Any other questions you might have? Okay, if you haven't navigated to the site yet, we'll come and help as well. So, but go ahead and dive in. Thank you. So I just want to, I'm gonna jump in, and you're very intense in this, so if you've got one you're in the middle of discussing, I'm gonna go ahead. But the next piece I want to look at is, now that you've had a chance to dig into this and you've done some of this already, but I want to really get into considering these different discussion points. And we're going to kind of follow this similar format throughout the day. So at the end of this time when we're analyzing and experiencing the strategy or the point you might use with students or with other staff, we're going to have you circle back around and think about it from this perspective. So, what information skills or structure of the assessment is new to you? What information skills or structure of the assessment is confirmed from what you were already familiar with? Most likely, like what are you recognizing from ACT, of course, or something to that effect. And then what are those implications that it has for your professional learning and or instruction, again, based on your lens and how you're coming to the work today. At the end of this, I'm going to ask 3 tables to volunteer to share out a key idea or an aha moment from the discussion. And we'll kind of go around as Casey did earlier. But we'll give you about 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll give you a 1-minute warning to make sure you kind of recenter to have a talking point, and we'll take 3 tables, and we'll do this 3 or 4 times during the day. So I'll try to make sure I get to all the tables as I have you share a tidbit of information. So jump into this discussion. In about 5 minutes, we'll come back and share out 3 big ideas from the discussion and go from there. What questions might you have? All right, go ahead.